Dabes, I am wondering, we'll start here because you have a degree in economics. You are far smarter than any of us. And so what the hell are you doing being an NFL coach? That's a waste of a degree, coach.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far there. I had to pick something, so that's what I picked. I went to school. I was going to do medical stuff, biology and chemistry and all that stuff. And I went to the first few classes. I said, "Get me the hell out of there."
I feel like you in a lab coat would be very different than you on the sidelines.
It'd have to be an extra large one, I'll tell you that.
When did you know? When did you realize, Dabes, that you wanted to be a football coach? That's what you wanted to do for the rest of your life?
I'd say so. I went to a small D3 school, and I played. Didn't play much my freshman year. I started my sophomore, my junior year. And then I hurt my neck, and then I just decided I was just going to stay on and help the coaches out of the D3 school. And then once I did that, I said, I kind of like doing this. And that's when I went down to William & Mary, which is in Virginia. And that was a volunteer job. Did that for a few months, and then went and became a graduate assistant at Michigan State. So
Dr. Dabes has a better ring to it, though, right?
Yeah, Dr. Dabes.
Yeah, I feel like it does. Have you thought about that?
Hell no.
Or no, you just bailed on those?
Yeah, hell no.
Coach, you have to put us where you were and what your reaction was to the video of Kenny Dorsey losing his mind against the Dolphins.
Where was I? I don't know. It's not one of those events that I remember exactly where I was. But I love Dorsey. Dorsey is as competitive as they come. So I felt, I've been there too, just with the camera not on me, which I'm thankful for. But Dorsey is a competitive SOB, and it was a funny video.
You were laughing at it, weren't you?
I was laughing at it.
Did you send him a text like, calm the fuck down? What are you doing? I mean,
no, he knows. No. I said, I love you, buddy. I love the energy and the passion.
So Chris Sims usually does the show with us. He's our co-host here on God Bless Football, along with Mike Golick as well. And I am wondering, does Phil Sims ever walk in? Because we talk about Chris's dad with him all the time. His nickname, by the way, is Big Fucker. Okay, that's his nickname, a self-appointed nickname by Phil Sims. I am wondering, does Phil ever just walk around the facility like he owns the joint?
No, he was here the other day for a production meeting, and I sat down with him in the field house. But other than that, he hasn't been around too much. I've known Phil for quite some time. Great dude, but no, he's just not coming in the facility and, strutting around.
That's surprising. I got to be honest with you. It really is. Right, Mikey A? Like, that's very surprising to both of us. And I think Chris Sims would be shocked by that.
You call yourself Big Fucker, you think you're going to walk around like you're
Yeah.
It's a great nickname, though, right, Coach?
Yeah, and he made that nickname up for himself?
Yes. Okay, he gave it to himself. Yeah,
I got you.
Classic Phil. What the hell is going on with Geno Smith? You just played Seattle, second loss of the season. But can you explain that, Coach? Like, what is going on with Geno Smith?
Yeah, no, I mean, just getting ready to play those guys and watching him. He's playing the quarterback position at a high level. And then we went out there and they beat our ass pretty good. And he had a really good game. He's throwing the ball well. He's got good skill guys around him. I told him much respect. He's doing a great job.
What was the message to your team after that game?
Yeah, I think we practiced the right way. We were ready to play. Obviously, we didn't get the results we want. There was, certain reasons for that. We've turned the ball over in the kicking game a couple times. We just didn't do the things we needed to do to win the game. So come back, watch the tape, learn from it, try to be as consistent as we can, whether we win or we lose. It's hard to do in this business, but that's the way I approach it.
What surprised you the most about your team thus far?
I just say they're very competitive. The guys are, coming in and not knowing a lot of them. The guys are they care about the game. They're good teammates. They work their asses off. And they've competed, for 60 minutes. You can see the games that we've won. It's been fourth quarter games, and certainly appreciate the way those guys work and how they compete.
Why is it that you think that people haven't bought in on your team yet? Like, because you got off to obviously a great start. You were 5-1. And then there's certain people that go around and like, oh, this is not a 5-1 team. Some people even have said it's the worst 5-1 team I've ever seen. So why is it that you think that people like that are saying things?
He's
like
nodding towards me, Coach, and I have said that. I'll be honest with you. I have said that. Yeah.
Look, everybody's got a job to do. I don't think you
Asshole.
can really worry about that. You selling out Stugotz. I appreciate you, Stugotz.
Yeah,
I gotta
I
go.
mean-
In fact, I gotta go right now. So I'm done with this. I'm done with this.
Wow.
Appreciate you guys. No. Look, look, I've been in this business a long time. So there's, I've been part of teams that, won a lot of games, and there's a lot of stuff being said about them or started off slow. And, that's why this game is great. There's such a good following, and there's a ton of reporters and analysts and things like that. And, we can't control those things. All we can do is go out there and compete and try to do the best we can.
Is Pat Hanlon upset with me? Is that what's going on here? Is he upset? I mean,
no, not at all.
Okay.
No.
Because I love Pat. Listen, I have been in this industry my entire life, and I say this lovingly. Pat Hanlon is a bleeping legend. He is. He is a top 5 media relations guy of all time for me. Okay. Like back in the 90s when I first started out, Pat Hanlon was the guy to call at the Giants all the way back then, Coach. But I am wondering, because I know Pat pretty well, how often, how many times a week do you need to say, hey, Pat, you're wearing me out? Just back off for a minute. Okay.
Pat? No, I mean, shit, he's been great. No, I meet with him every day. And like I said, I can see why you call him a legend. He's been here forever. And
he's the best.
He is the best. He's an authentic dude. And that's what I appreciate about him.
Is this Josh Allen better than the Josh Allen you left a year ago in Buffalo?
I haven't watched him.
You're busy.
A whole bunch.
Yeah.
I would just say that, and I've said this before, just, I owe Josh a lot. He's one hell of a player. He's a hell of a person. And I wish him all the success in the world, man. He is a dynamic player.
Coach, I might be asking this for a friend, but how do you beat the Buffalo Bills?
Yeah, I don't know.
You're not going to tell me, because I know the Jets don't know. So I'm wondering if you can help me out.
No, I mean, it doesn't seem like a lot of people know. They're a fantastic ball team.
Brian Daboll with us here on God Bless Football. Did you think so? You coached Tua and Jalen Hurts at Alabama, both of them at the same time.
Yeah.
In an honest moment, if I asked you 4 years ago, let's say, and I said, how do you think both these guys will be in the NFL? You would have told me what?
I'd say they're good.
Like this good though?
Yeah, no, I mean, look, they're taking this league by storm right now. They're, Tua's a fantastic player, and he's got some really good weapons around him, as does Jalen. And Jalen's Jalen is lights out right now. They're fun to see the highlights on both those guys. Haven't known them. They got great attitudes. They're competitive. They're great leaders. It's not surprising what they've done.
So do you think that, like, for Tua, for example, and even for your quarterback, Daniel Jones, do you think it's just like it wasn't a good fit with previous coaches? Possibly it wasn't the right scheme, because sometimes it just takes a little bit for quarterbacks to figure it out. And there was some of that with Josh Allen too at the beginning of his career, where people were like, is this guy going to actually be good? And then you have gotten credit for turning him around, and now you're doing kind of the same with Daniel Jones, and Mike McDaniel's doing some of that with Tua. Is it just kind of a maturity thing in the league, or do you think that maybe that wasn't the right fit before?
Look, I can just speak with like Josh, and I know that, look, all the credit goes to the players. That's the way I've been raised in this business. These guys have worked their tails off. They're all talented. And then it's your job as a coach to try to put something together for those guys that they feel comfortable with, and try to build around them and get them some good pieces that they can throw the ball to as a quarterback. But whether it's Josh or Tua or Jalen or those guys are, they deserve all the credit.
But Dave,
Saquon Barkley doesn't hurt.
Right, having Barkley doesn't hurt is what Mike. Having Barkley doesn't hurt is what he said. Yeah. But Coach, you do have this ability. It's a rare ability. In fact, I'm not certain I could think of many coaches who have done this, where with Josh Allen, you kind of you helped him eliminate the turnovers. With Daniel Jones, you, at least thus far throughout this season, you've kind of done the same thing. Like, how do you go about teaching that to quarterbacks?
Yeah, we just try to teach the decision-making process and the situations of the game, and, try to put plays in for them that they feel comfortable with, that they can read. And again, it's not earth-shattering stuff. We try to put together stuff that they feel comfortable with, and teach them what we want them to do. And then ultimately the credit goes to those guys for going out there and doing it.
What do you love most about coaching?
The relationships that you build with the people in the building, the players, I've coached a lot of different guys throughout my 20 plus years in the NFL and have great relationships with people that I've worked with. That's the fun part of it, and winning. It's not very much fun when you lose. You put everything you got into it each week to try to get a good result. And when you do, it's a satisfying feeling. When you don't, it sucks.
Is there, besides the losing, is there anything about it that you don't like?
No.
Nothing?
No, I love it. I love it. I haven't worked a day in my life, I say, in terms of this profession. You just, you're around a bunch of people that have common goals, that are competitive like you. And again, I've been fortunate to be part of some really good teams, and, been part of some championships here in the NFL and in college. And, that's why you do it, Dad. And again, when you talk to someone that you coached 10 years ago, that's, has a kid or getting married or anything like that, that's the stuff that you hold on to and appreciate.
Whose idea was the truck video when they first hired you? Because
Hanlon.
we saw when you first
Hanlon.
Yeah.
That was Hanlon.
Yeah, of course it was Hanlon. Yeah.
So any pushback?
I'm like, crammed in this damn suit that I hate wearing. I got this briefcase with nothing in it.
Right.
Really?
So,
there was nothing in the briefcase?
Ritz crackers.
No. There you go. No, and I'm like, God dang, this damn suit is tight as hell. I just want to wear, sweatsuit. But
and they handed you a
funny.
briefcase.
My kids bust my balls all the time about that thing.
It was a good video, but they handed you an empty briefcase and they said,
"No, that was mine. I just kind of grabbed it."
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How many suits do you own? Like one just for that, and maybe like funerals?
I don't think he owns that one.
No, you know what I got? I don't know how many damn suits I got, but they're all different sizes.
Right.
So you got, I got like a huge suit, and I got one that's a little bit less. And, it depends on the time of the year in terms of, what the scale's saying. So, I don't wear any of them. I'll tell you that right now.
What time of year is the scale the nicest to you? Yeah.
Usually right after summer break.
Yeah. But that's what I love about my kids. Your kids don't give a shit that you're Dabes, that you're Coach Brian Daboll, that you're the head coach of the Giants. They just want to make fun of you, right?
Oh, no doubt about it. And they do a great job of it.
Yeah. What'd you do for Halloween? Anything fun?
I took the young ones out, 5-year-old and 6-year-old, and they had all their friends. And I didn't dress up. My wife likes to dress up, so she dressed up. Last couple of days there's paint, shit everywhere all over our bathroom right now. My 5-year-old was Chucky,
right?
Oh.
So we went out there and got some candy. And
why does a 5-year-old know who Chucky is? That seems a little young, Dabes.
No, I'm telling you, I mean, he's got some older brothers, and you should come by my house sometime.
Let's do it. Yeah,
we would love that. Can we do that? Play some golf,
problem.
perhaps. Go out for an afternoon.
You guys got it.
Holy shit! Listen, I am a Jet fan who's about to turn into a Giant fan. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, shit. Great. Come on board. Let's go.
All right. Holy shit, Bill.
Dabes, what's the candy tax like? Like, what are we doing there when your kids come home with all the candy? You tell them you got to check it to make sure everything's safe, or what do you think?
Look, you know how they are nowadays. My wife spoils the shit out of them. So, like, she loves Halloween. So if you go into my garage, I mean, I'm talking about the full-size candy bars.
That's how you do it.
And there might be 1,000 of them in this cauldron in front of my house. So there's every damn candy bar you can imagine. So they'll get like 2 candy. They'll go to the 2 doors and they'll be like, "All right, can we go back home?"
I don't like this.
Right.
I don't want to.
That's not trick or treating.
Yeah. They're spoiled,
Exactly.
Shit out of them.
Yeah.
Right.
Something's going on. Back when we were kids, Dave, you had to work for your candy. You know what I mean?
There's no doubt about it.
Figure out the right house.
You got to work for it, or the kids in the older kids in the neighborhood jump your ass, take your candy. Then you'd be sitting there with 10 of your buddies, and you're like, "All right, let's split it up. All right, you get 3, you get 3. You're crying. The older kids took your stuff."
Yeah.
Dabes, I love you. I'm tell you that right now. I might become a Giant fan.
Yeah.
I mean, and we're invited to your house. This is very exciting. Is there a golf course nearby?
There is. There is.
What's the handicap these days?
It's high. Yeah.
It is.
I'm a hack.
Oh.
But I go out there, I'll smoke about 8 cigars and 9 holes, and that's what I like to do.
How many beers?
I don't know. Enough.
I'm trying to figure you out. Like, I thought before that you were like a Gatorade guy. You drink a lot of energy drinks. But
Red Bull guy.
Yeah, I feel like you're like a Monster
I'm not
Energy
a Red Bull guy.
No.
I'm not. I don't drink any of that stuff.
Really? Coffee even?
No.
Really?
Wow.
No.
So, like, if one of your kids brings home, to Billy's original question, 4 candy bars, how many go to Brian Daboll? 2?
No, I don't do that to my kids. I don't take their candy.
You should.
I do.
You do.
Coach, we appreciate this. I'm going to play a very quick game with you on the way out here, okay? Because you have coached and been part of some great coaching staffs. You have coached for guys like Nick Saban, like Bill Belichick, and of course the great Tony Sparano. Okay.
Yeah.
So a quick game of Saban, Belichick, or Sparano. Okay.
You guys are gonna get me in trouble, man.
No. Just
Maybe.
answer honestly. That's all. The one most likely to tear up the dance floor at a wedding: Saban, Belichick, or the late Tony Sparano?
Saban.
Saban.
Really?
Really? Have you seen
Wow.
Saban tear up a dance floor?
Yeah, no, he can dance.
What?
He can dance.
Wait
I'm
a
telling
second.
you, he can dance. He'll have the recruiting functions and he'll cut it up pretty good.
Wow, that's amazing. How about you?
Wow.
How about you, Daves?
I suck.
Yeah, you seem like a YMCA type of guy. Like you go out there for the big ones, you know?
Yeah, I'm terrible.
Oh God, I love you though. Most likely to pay for dinner: Saban, Belichick, or Sparano?
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Bill.
Belichick is most likely
Yeah.
to pay for dinner. Right? Does Saban even try to pay for dinner? How does that work? I mean,
No, I think all of them would. I just got to pick one, so I went with Bill.
best sense of humor: Saban, Belichick, or Sparano?
I'd say Tony.
Really?
Yeah.
Like
So-
Tony had
so
you
look-
rolling on the floor. Tony was a great guy. People don't realize that about the late Tony Sparano. He was the head coach of the Dolphins, came up with a Wildcat against the Patriots. He was a great coach and a better person.
Unbelievable guy. And his son actually works for us here.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, he's the assistant line coach. So look, Tony, I'll tell you a quick story about Tony.
Yeah.
Tony comes up and visits me. I'm from this, little town outside of Buffalo, and there's this church carnival every year that me and my boys that I grew up with, we go to every year. We've done it about 30 years in a row. So Tony says, I'm going to come up and hang out with you guys. So Sparano comes up and sitting there and he's drinking, there's like 3 beers and a mug.
Oh, I love
It's at a lawn. It's a lawn fete. He's out there partying with us, and he's tying one on pretty good, and he's meeting all my buddies that I grew up with. And we get to this preseason game. It was against Carolina, I believe, and I was at Miami. And he says, I'd call a play, and he'd go, "Ugh." I'm like, "Oh, do you not want this play?" "No, call it." Shit wouldn't work. He go, "I could have told you that was going to happen." I finally I call one and it hits. And I think Reggie Bush hits it and scores, and he goes in from about, 30 yards. And I'm fist pumping and I'm screaming on the headset. I'm just going off. And Tony's like, "Hey, Dabes, I'm not one of your boys from the QH Carnival. Shut up."
Wow.
I said, "I got it." Yeah. So
Didn't Tony, when he was, I think,
That's amazing.
an
and he had
interim
that
coach for
low
the
voice,
Raiders?
Huh?
Yeah.
Didn't he bury a football one time to motivate his team? I think when he was like the Raiders interim coach.
Yes, he did that.
I love
Tony
him.
did.
Yeah.
He was a, God rest his soul, just an unbelievable person, unbelievable coach. I miss him a great deal. He was a great friend.
Who would win in a 100-yard dash? Saban, Belichick, or Sparano?
Saban.
Really? Saban can scoot,
What?
huh? Really?
He's and he hoops. He still hoops. Lunchtime.
Yeah,
hoops
but
all
people
the
let him
time.
win. They let him win because of who he is, right?
Yeah, well, probably, but he's not bad.
Who's the worst texter of that bunch?
I don't know.
We know Bill's a bad texter. I mean, that was a whole thing. He meant to text you, ended up texting Flores, and that just kind of set everything off.
He set you up there, Coach.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
Mhm.
Oh my God. Coach, we appreciate it. Sorry for the last question. I'm joking, but we do appreciate it. So what do you tell you? So after that loss, moving forward here, your team now 6-2, and as Billy
Yeah.
pointed out, a lot of people don't believe in them. Do they No. I'm one of those
Yeah,
people.
Stugotz
I
is one of
acknowledge.
them.
I admit
I
it,
gotcha.
Billy, that I am one of the people that said, but now I believe in them because Daboll has invited us to his house. We're going to play golf. We're going to have beers. He's going to tell us Sparano stories. We're going to sit around the fire. But, Coach, I am wondering, do you allow your players to kind of read the press, follow the press, read the headlines, hear, hey, they're 6-2, they're great, or there are people, do you use that as fuel, I guess, people saying, hey, this 6-2 team is not as good as they think they are. Do you use that as fuel or just get back to work?
No, we just get back to work. I mean, again, being in this league as long as I've been, there's a lot of people that say a lot of stuff about you. And you can't control those things. So we just go back to work and, try to play a little better than we did last week against Seattle and, get ready to go against Houston. I gave them a little bit of time off and coaches are in. We're trying to crank away and give them a little bit off over the weekend and get ready to play here next week.
Schedule wasn't nice to you. I mean, sending you across, a different continent and then over to Seattle wasn't very kind to you, Coach.
Yeah, these last four, we've frequent flyer miles, right?
Yeah.
Went over to Europe, came back, played Baltimore, flew down to Jacksonville, then flew to Seattle. So guys need some rest now.
Yeah. I'm shocked there was nothing in the briefcase. I got to be honest with you. It's the most shocking thing I've heard today.
What'd you think would be in there?
Cash. I don't know.
Game plans.
Cash.
He's pulling it as the Giants head coach. Got a big deal. I mean, maybe Josh Allen trying to sneak him in.
Another suit.
When's the last time there was something actually in that briefcase? Like, when did you use that?
I'm not a big briefcase guy.
Yeah, that's why it's surprising that you'd be walking around.
That's what I was saying. Hanlon did. I mean, I love Pat again, but I mean, the truck was perfect, but a briefcase and a suit for
Hanlon put the finishing touch. Hanlon had to be in the video too. He's sitting there right there with the mask on out in front of the door. He had to be in that sumbitch.
Is Hanlon there right now? Is he smiling? Like, what is he doing?
Hanlon, you here?
I am here.
He's back behind the curtain. He's smiling, Stu. He's smiling.
Was he mad at the text question? I just want to know. Hanlon?
That was a dumbass question.
Billy! Hanlon called you out.
I'm sorry, Daves.
Nice try.
Oh my God, Daves, will you forgive him?
Hanlon is like the Oz. He's back there behind the curtain back there, in Wizard of Oz.
He's the best. Listen. I am telling you, I might swing to being a Giant fan because Joe Shade is my friend. He's the general manager. By the way, you played golf against Joe, yes?
I have. I have.
And he fudged his handicap, of course, because that's how we do it down here in South Florida.
Not cheating, not trying.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
He shoots in the 70s, Coach, just so you know, okay?
Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah, but he'll tell you he's like an 85, right?
Hey, anything to win, right? Anything to win.
But with Joe running the organization and you being such a great guy and Hanlon being Hanlon, I think I might be a Giant fan. I mean,
great. I love
the
it.
Jets just refused to put Robert Saleh on his radio show. So I think I'm going to go with you, Coach. How do you feel about that?
I love it. Appreciate it.
All right, good. And thank you for all the tips on how to beat the Bills.
Mike, what you thinking about over there?
Everything.
I'm thinking that his integrity would make him just perfect to lead the Jets.
Listen,
perfect.
you're a Jet fan too. Are you not thinking about swinging over to the Giants?
I couldn't. I wish I could. I love Dave,
Mike,
but
let's go.
couldn't do it.
Really?
I wish.
Wow.
Couldn't do
Mike,
it.
you like to wear a suit as much as I do.
Listen, I don't know if I own one. At least
There you
not one
go.
that fits.
Daboll has identified a person that he has a lot of things. He's familiar with you, Mikey A. Okay,
You can be bought with a game of golf, Stu.
I can be bought with a game of golf. Yeah, and a couple of beers and an invite to the house. That's it. Coach, we appreciate it. Tell Hanlon I am coming for Hanlon, meaning I want to interview Pat Hanlon on this show. Okay,
I think that'd be a great segment.
Okay. Billy, why don't you ask that question?
Well, next time, Coach, we wanted to play a game with you because Stugotz plays a game. So if we had Nick Saban, he'd play a game called Sabin or Sabout, right? Because that's what he does. He just changes people's last names for a game. So we wanted to play a game with you called Daboll or Daboll shit, but we didn't get to it this time. So next time you're on.
Next time.
Next time.
Will there be a next time, Coach?
Next time.
Okay, good. All right, man. We're rooting for you. I am. Mikey A is
you, man.
not, but we're
Of course, I'm
you,
rooting
man.
for him, unless he's playing the
Mike.
Jets. I'm rooting for you,
wants you.
Coach.
I appreciate you, buddy.
I'm rooting for you.
Hey, you
There
guys
he is.
Hey, you guys have been saying goodbye for like 15 minutes.
Yeah, oh, God.
Listen,
Goodbye.
Pat, it's
Hey,
not
goodbye.
our fault that we love your coach. We fell in love with your coach, Pat. I mean, what do you want from us?
That's easy to do.
See you guys.
Thanks, Dave.